all the way live. J-Dawg's Fearless Football Picks for 2022 NFL Week 13. You can see me now, can't you? Just kidding. Okay, Week 13 starts tonight, and as you know, I just got all these papers. What is this? Stop it. It's madness. Madness, Jerry. Okay. 11-5 last week with a 105-72 mark on to week number 13. It starts tonight on Prime Video at 8:15, where the Buffalo Bills are 8-3 at the 6-5 New England Patriots. And right now the Pats are on the outside looking in. They're going to wear their retro uniforms, by the way, the Pat the Patriot 80s ones or 60s to early 90s uniforms. You're going to wear them tonight along with the helmet. It worked against the Detroit Lions. It's not going to work tonight, though, against the Bills. Pats, for some reason, can't figure out people in their own division if they're not named the New York Football Jets. They've had trouble with the Bills. They've had trouble with the Dolphins. And right now, the Bills are listed as a 5.5-point favorite, although the line got moved this morning to 4 points for the Bills. I'm going to take them by a touchdown here. And again, I think the Bills, even though Von Miller's out probably another week, if he's back next week, I still think that the Bills have kind of got it figured out, although their secondary does scare me in terms of allowing a lot of points, allowing a lot of big plays, and allowing a lot of yardage. I will take the Buffalo Bills to beat their division rival in the New England Patriots tonight at 8:15 p.m. on Prime Video. We go now to the Sunday Fair, and the Pittsburgh Steelers, who may be bringing up the rear. Who knows? They're not great, but they may sneak in the playoffs. They are on the outside looking in, or what they call in the hunt. 4-7 at the 5-7 Atlanta Falcons. They're in the hunt as well. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS, and right now it is a half-point favorite, the Falcons. I'm going to take the Steelers because they seem to win these really close games. They won a close game against the Colts on Monday Night Football with Jeff Saturday, the interim coach, not knowing what clock management is and not using timeouts when he needed to use them. I don't think that will happen with the Falcons, but I wouldn't be surprised. I'm going to take the Patriots, the Steelers, and a squeaker here. Next, we have the 4-8 Green Bay Packers, who are probably out of it now. They're probably out of it. At the 3-9, they're out of it. Chicago Bears, 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox, and right now the Packers are listed as a 3.5-point favorite. Aaron Rodgers got hurt on Sunday Night Football against the Philadelphia Eagles with his already busted thumb and now ribs, which was previously thought was an oblique injury. It's his ribs. He said he's good to go, and since he owns the Chicago Bears, why not let him go? Go mad against these Chicago Bears, that is. I don't mean let him go away. Not yet. Not yet. I think he's getting there. His birthday's tomorrow, by the way, number 39 for Mr. Aaron Charles Rodgers. And Jordan Love looked good in those brief plays he had, filling in for Aaron Rodgers, stepping in. Is Jordan Love the future? I don't know. Although a Jordan Love to Christian Watson hookup combo, it looked really good on Sunday Night Football in garbage time. It may look good even better in the future. And that's why you draft quarterbacks, right? 3.5 points. I'm going to take the Packers by at least 10 in this one. It's not my stone cold lead pipe lock. That's coming later. Next, we have the Jacksonville Jaguars, 4-7, who got a big win, an upset win over the Baltimore Ravens, at the also 4-7 Detroit Lions. This will be a 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox, and currently right now, the Lions are listed as a 1.5-point favorite. I could see that. I'm not going to give them a 1.5 points. I'm going to give them a win by 6 points. I think the Lions will get 2 field goals or win by 6, a touchdown. Well, a touchdown is what? 6 points. The extra point makes it 7. So I got them winning by 6 in this. I think it will be competitive. I think Trevor Lawrence and Jared Goff are going to have good games. And I think the balance attack will, the balance of attack that both the Jags will display, the Jags and the Lions will display, will come out. And I could see a 36-30 game, that kind of thing. I got Detroit winning though. Next, this is a good one. When they made it on the schedule, it didn't look like it was going to be a good one, but it's going to be a good one. The Road Warrior-tested New York Football Jets at 7-4 head to Minnesota to take on the 9-2 Vikings. It's a 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS, And right now, Minnesota is listed as a 3.5-point favorite. Now, the Jets, they go on the road. They seem to win as long as it's not Foxboro, right? They won in Green Bay, so they were able to beat an NFC North division opponent in the Green Bay Packers earlier this season. And they might do that in Minnesota. Although I think the Vikings, they don't want to be embarrassed like they were against the Cowboys. And they won rather controversially against the New England Patriots on Thanksgiving. As it appears, one of the Patriots players was actually in the end zone, but they didn't count it. I'm going to take the Vikings here I'm going to take them by a field goal. It's 3.5 points for the line. I'm going to take them by a field goal. I think the Vikes are going to win this one just barely. The Jets will make it competitive, I think, because, again, they're road warrior. They're road tested. They got a big win against the Bears at home, but that was at home. Now they're on the road taking on the Vikings. Next, we have an NFC East showdown, which when the schedule came out was probably a throwaway game. Well, both teams are in it right now. I think the playoffs started. I think all four NFC East teams would be in the playoffs. The Washington Commanders are at 7-5. They're hot as of late. At the 7-4 New York Football Giants, who have not been hot as of late and are kind of sliding a little bit, I think. 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox. The G-Men, the Commanders, the Commies, are listed as a 2.5-point favorite. I'm going to take Washington in this one, and I'm going to take them by a touchdown. I think they've got something going here. I think they've got Washington, Ron Rivera, he's the riverboat gambler, and I think he's going, Riverboat Ron they call him, I think he's going to pull out all the stops here, and I think the slide continues for the G-Men. Okay, next we have the Tennessee Titans at 7-4 at the Philadelphia Eagles, the best in all of the NFL at 10-1. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff on Fox. Right now, the Eagles are listed as a 5.5-point favorite. I'm going to take them by 9 points in this one. The Eagles, it'll be tough. I think Derrick Henry will get his yardage, but it could be a cold game, too, in Philadelphia. I'm not saying that the Tennessee Titans don't play well in cold weather. They have a cold weather mentality. They've got a head coach in Mike Vrabel who played in a lot of cold games with the New England Patriots back in the day. And the Eagles, it's at home. I know they lost to Washington a few weeks ago, although, again, the Titans, I think, could make it competitive. And the Titans, they really want to rebound from that loss to the Cincinnati Bengals from last week in Nashville. But they're in Philadelphia, and I think the Eagles are just a bit better. And I think they're going to win by 9 points. Next, we have the Denver Broncos, who are getting sick of Russ Wilson, apparently. Or at least some players have really had it with him, apparently. At 3-8, at the 7-4 Baltimore Ravens, who are really angry because, well, they lost a game they had. They had won against the Jacksonville Jaguars. And the Baltimore Ravens have been known to do this as of late, where the defense really allows a lot of big plays in late moments. They play a lot of close games. They win some close games. They lose some close games. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS, by the way. And currently, the Ravens are an 8.5-point favorite. I'm going to take those 8.5 points because the Ravens, again, they're angry. The Broncos still can't figure out their offense, no matter who the play caller is, whether it's head coach Nate Hackett or their offensive coordinator or Russ Wilson. Stuff isn't clicking. When's it going to click? Is it going to click at all this year? And they're stuck with Wilson until the end of this decade, apparently, like 2028. They can't really trade and get rid of him, even if they wanted to. Next, the Cleveland Browns. We'll talk about that in a sec. At the Houston Texans, 9-1 are the Texans, 4-7 are the Browns. This is a 1 p.m. kickoff on CBS, and the Cleveland Browns are listed as a 7.5-point favorite. This is the Deshaun Watson return game. Deshaun Watson was traded, then signed with the Cleveland Browns. He's got the richest deal in the NFL history, I think well over $200 million. And the Browns knew that there was going to be investigations into the masseuse scandal that was going on for potential sexual assault, inappropriate conduct by Watson, who was one of the greatest Houston Texans of all time in their short history, I guess now 21-year history, of the franchise. He returns to the place where it all began. Now, originally, he was supposed to serve an 8-game suspension. It became an 11-game suspension because the appeals process fell through, and it ended up being 11 games. And here we are in early December of 2022, and Deshaun Watson, who's never played for any other team other than the Texans, now quarterbacks the Browns. It's a 7.5-point favorite for Cleveland, but I'm going with the upset with the Houston Texans. I got them winning this by a field goal in the last second, and the Texans will upend Deshaun Watson's return home, this time as a member of the Cleveland Browns. Next, we have the Seattle Seahawks, the Seabags, at the Los Angeles Rams. It's a 4:05 kickoff on Fox. Right now, the Rams are 3-8, and the Seahawks are at 6-5. And right now, it's an 8.5-point favorite for Seattle. And the Rams look lost. They're not the champs much longer. And the Seattle Seahawks had a tough overtime loss against the Las Vegas Raiders in Seattle. And they're a little angry right now, I think, about that, because they had that game until they didn't. 8.5-point favorites. I'm going to take them to win by 9. I think they're going to beat up on the LA Rams and basically take out the defending champions out of contention in 2022. Next, now I was really debating on this one, who I was going to take and who I wasn't going to take. Mike McDaniel, the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, the rookie head coach, who was a coordinator for the San Francisco 49ers, returns in a rematch of Super Bowl 19 between the Miami Dolphins at 8-3 and the San Francisco 49ers at 7-4. This is a 4:05 kickoff on Fox in the Field of Jeans, Levi's Stadium in Santa Clara, California. Right now, the Niners are listed as a 3.5-point favorite. I'm going to take the Fins in this one, and I'm going to take the points. I'm going to say they're going to win it by 3.5 points, 3 to 4 points, 3.5, 4 points. I think the Dolphins, because Mike McDaniel kind of knows the system a little bit of how the offense worked for the Niners. Maybe he'll install a game plan that can stop the offense, because Jimmy Garoppolo is a game manager. He's a game manager. He's not a 4,000-yard quarterback that's going to throw for 50 touchdowns. Tua is he's one of the MVPs of the league right now. If it wasn't for Pat Mahomes or Jalen Hurts, Tua would definitely be in the discussion. Okay. The next game, another game I was fumbling with here, a rematch of last year's thrilling, exciting AFC Championship game between the Kansas City Chiefs, who are the best in the AFC right now at 9-2, at the 7-4 Cincinnati Bengals. It's a 4:25 kickoff on CBS, rather. 4:25 kickoff on CBS, and right now the Chiefs are listed as a 2.5-point favorite. The Bengals, who lost to the Chiefs earlier last season in Cincinnati, then decided to exact revenge and beat them where it mattered most in Kansas City in the AFC title game to get to Super Bowl 56 rather. Hosts Kansas City again. And this time, I think the result will be different, unlike last year. What I mean last year, Kansas City was at Cincinnati, and Kansas City barrely won. Not going to happen this time. I've got Cincinnati winning this one. I think they're going to win by a touchdown, and I think Pat Mahomes will probably throw a late interception. Now, I know primetime Pat usually doesn't do that, but he's been known to do that. He did throw an interception in Kansas City against the Buffalo Bills a few weeks ago, if you remember. And that was kind of late in the game. Next, 4:25 kickoff on CBS between the Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. This, by the way, is an AFC West showdown. 6-5 is LA, and 4-7 are the Raiders. 2.5-point favorite are the Chargers. And I'm sorry, I can't take LA in this. They're such a snake-bitten franchise. They look like they've got it all together. I think they're on the outside looking in, and they're in the hunt. I think they're going to lose this game to the Raiders as well. Then they're going to lose it by, I'm going to say they're going to lose this game by a touchdown. I'm going to take the Raiders in this one. Next, we have the Blunder Bowl, a rematch of Super Bowl V. That's what they called it, the Blunder Bowl or the Blooper Bowl, because there was a lot of mistakes in that fifth Super Bowl. It was the Baltimore Colts at the time, now the Indianapolis Colts, at the Dallas Cowboys. Colts won that Super Bowl, by the way. I think it was the Johnny Unitas Earl Morrall era, I believe. 4-7-1 is Indy. 8-3 is Dallas. Right now, the Cowboys are listed as a 2.5-point favorite. What? This is my stone-cold lead pipe lock of the week, this Super Bowl V rematch. I've got the Cowboys winning by 17 points in this game. I think they're going to run roughshod over that Indianapolis defense. I think Dak Prescott is going to have a really good game, and the Cowboys are going to continue to roll. That's an 8:20 kickoff on NBC's Sunday Night Football. Next, finally, lastly, we have an NFC South showdown. Who wants to win the NFC South? Nobody, I guess. The Tampa Bay Bucks, who are upset by the Cleveland Browns in Cleveland in overtime, are 5-6, and currently the division leaders right now. They host the 4-8 New Orleans Saints, who seem to have their number in the regular season. Not playoffs, regular season. I don't think that'll be the case this time around. I think Tom Brady and company will figure it out. It's an 8:15 kickoff on ESPN, and right now the Bucks are listed as a 3.5-point favorite, and I'm going to take the Bucks to win this one by 8 points. I just think the New Orleans Saints, this is not their year. They just don't seem to have anything figured out, whether it's offense, whether it's defense. It just doesn't, things aren't working out for them right now. And I don't think they will. I think the final nail in the proverbial coffin in 2022 will come at the hands of a divisional rival in the NFC South in the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Two teams on a bye week, the Carolina Panthers and the Arizona Cardinals. They're both going to need it because Arizona, for sure, I think needs it more than Carolina does because Carolina's pretty much out of it. Arizona, not too far behind them. It's looking like the streak of the home team hosting the Super Bowl will end at 2. All right, the recap. Who I got? Okay, tonight, Thursday Night Football, 8:15 p.m. on Prime Video. I've got the Buffalo Bills over the New England Patriots. Sunday's games, I've got the Steelers over Atlanta. I've got Green Bay over Chicago. I've got Detroit over Jacksonville, Minnesota over the New York Football Jets. I've got the Washington over the Giants. I've got Philadelphia over Tennessee, Baltimore over Denver. My upset pick, the Houston Texans over the Cleveland Browns. Seahawks over the Rams, Dolphins over the Niners in a Super Bowl 19 rematch. Cincinnati over Kansas City. I've got Las Vegas over Los Angeles, the Chargers. And I've got my stone cold lead pipe lock of the week for Sunday Night Football, at least 17 points. I've got the Cowboys over the Colts. And then on Monday Night Football, I've got the Bucks over the Saints. Okay, there you have it. There's my J-Dawg's Fearless Football picks for week number 13 in the NFL. I'll have a recap on Tuesday, and the next time I'm doing this again will be next Thursday, as we'll be in week 14 in the National Football League. Thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. Thank you for subscribing. I've got 88 subscribers. I'm trying to get to 100 by the end of this year, getting into 2023. Also, J-Dawg's Short Shorts today was Eat a Red Apple Day, where I had a Brayburn apple because, let's face it, Red Delicious would just be too easy, wouldn't it, if you think about it? There's a lot of red apples out there, and Red Delicious is one of them, and it's really, 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 really easy to just phone it in and just say, this is a red apple. Well, there's more than just one red apple. I did Brayburn, of course. Check that out. J-Dawg's Short Shorts tomorrow and all the way through the end of 2022. So I've got 30, more of these to go before no more J-Dawg Short Shorts come 2023. And J-Dawg's Fearless Football picks, as I said, 1 week from today, same time, same channel, my YouTube channel here, J-Dawg, J-A-Y. D-A-W-G. It's under at JDawg83, by the way, if you want to find that out and check me out there. Also, I'll do the recap on Tuesday and then back at it once again on Thursday for J-Dawg's Fearless Football picks for week number 13 in the NFL. We'll get to week 14 next week. J-Dawg's Short Shorts. And I also want to say a RIP to Gaylord Perry. As you know, earlier this year, I did Gaylord Perry Day, his birthday, which I believe was in August. He passed away today at the age of 84. He is a Hall of Famer, was a Hall of Famer, will always be a Hall of Famer, because he played for Cleveland as well. He played for a bevy of teams like Kansas City, New York, the Yankees, the San Francisco Giants, the Texas Rangers, played for a whole bunch of teams. Sir Spitball was his nickname because he threw the spitball, let's face it, the Vaseline ball and the like. And I saw him actually at the roll call in the 2007 Baseball Hall of Fame when I watched Cal Ripken Jr. and Tony Gwynn get inducted. I went to Cooperstown the day of induction, and Gaylord Perry was there, part of the roll call. No. RIP to Gaylord Perry. I know this is a football segment. I'm a baseball guy, and I just wanted to give my respects to Gaylord Perry, the great Cy Young Award winner for Cleveland back in the 1970s. Okay, J-Dawg's Fearless Football Picks done for week number 13. I'm back at it for week 14 next week. Check me out on this YouTube channel as I've got content for J-Dawg's shorts, and I'll have more content, of course, next year, and I'll have the recap on Tuesday. All right, take care of yourselves. Enjoy. This is the first day of December, and we're almost done with 2022. Don't worry, darling. 2023 is on its way.